another thing that we did is a couple weeks ago, we decided to have a demonstration to honor the great African leader Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of Burkina Faso. And this great African leader, he's almost the model of the kind of government we need. He's investing in his people, he's providing education, he's overseeing a farming boom, so much agricultural expansion, providing health care. Every woman who goes to the doctor to have a child in Burkina Faso, it is totally free. He's providing a stipend to students so that they can get their college education and not have to work a job on the side. They're getting a stipend. He's just the hero of the African continent. And when he was demonized by certain figures within the Pentagon, there was a national day of action, and people on every continent, but especially on the African continent, were marching in the streets saying, "Hands off Ibrahim Traoré." It was an amazing expression. We were very proud to join our brothers and sisters in the Uhuru movement in standing with Ibrahim Traoré. And we had a small rally here in Chicago, to support Ibrahim Traoré with our banner. And it went viral in Africa, and it was viewed all over the African continent, on YouTube, on television channels. People who were in chat groups that had nothing to do with our organization or our politics were seeing images of this rally, because Ibrahim Traoré is the kind of leader that many people in Africa are saying is the future. And the Union of Sahel States is very, very important. And that kind of brings us back to a point, what is Ibrahim Traoré? What is he, right? He's a Muslim, right? He's religious, he's a Muslim. He talks about Marxism, but he's not an old school communist. You can call him a Pan-Africanist, you can call him a black nationalist. It doesn't matter what he is, that's the kind of leader we need. And we like to call that kind of leadership that invests in people and human creativity and builds people up and is pro-growth. We call that innovationism. And that's the ideology of the Center for Political Innovation.
Africa is not a mistake to be fixed. Africa is not a failed continent. Africa is the womb of the world, the cradle of civilization, the keeper of tomorrow's hope.
We know that Ibrahim Traoré is the future of the African continent, that he represents the African wing of the global anti-imperialist movement.
We see that he's providing health care for his people, he's putting people first, he cares about the infrastructure, he's creating systems so that people can thrive instead of being in poverty like we have here in this country.
So we are here telling people, hands off Africa. The colonialists need to mind their business.
Why is he a dictator in the mind of the American media? Well, because he cares about the people of Burkina Faso.
Let me tell you what Ibrahim Traoré is doing. He has got agricultural projects. Burkina Faso is having a farming boom right now because of this great African leader. He has just made a law that any woman who has a child, her medical bills are completely eliminated. It's free to go to the doctor and have a child in Burkina Faso, in this African country, because mothers and maternal care is so important.
You speak of democracy, yet uphold a global structure where the powerful few veto the dreams of the many. We will no longer whisper in rooms where we deserve to speak with full voice.
He's not a criminal, he's just being there for his people.
And if we could just follow his example.
The forces that are trying to overthrow Ibrahim Traoré are the same forces that keep Americans poor. We want a prosperous America, not one that is so focused on maintaining the global economic system that our own citizens live in poverty.
He admires Gaddafi, he admires Patrice Lumumba, he admires all the great African leaders of the past, and we're here to say that American working people should look to Ibrahim Traoré as the kind of leadership we need. A builder, a constructor, someone who lifts people out of poverty, someone who stands with the new economy rising in the world of the BRICS with Russia and China.
Donald Trump, look at this man. Try to be like him. Don't be like Zelensky. Don't be a worm. Be a president like Ibrahim Traoré.
New economy emerging in the world, and it's based on real wealth. What China's doing with the Belt and Road Initiative, what Russia is doing with the Eurasian Economic Union, what is happening in Latin America with Bolivarianism, with the axis of resistance. There's a whole new economy. And this fake Wall Street derivative rip-off usury economy of Wall Street and London, that economy is the past. And the only future America is going to have is joining this new economy.
Imagine what we could have in this world just by doing what he's doing for his people.
What we need to do is get the United States to link up with this new economy in the global south and in the east, right? They lifted 1 billion people out of poverty in 20 years, right? We could be part of that. Instead, Donald Trump, on orders from Benjamin Netanyahu and the international banks, is trying to destroy that new system. No, we don't need to destroy it. We need to join it.
We are a spiritual people. Before your cathedrals, our ancestors sang to the sky. Before your missionaries, we knew the language of the rivers and the laws of the sacred forest. Christianity came, Islam came, and we received them not as slaves but as seekers. But now we ask, will the church and the mosque stand with us, truly with us, when all people are displaced by greed, mosque as globalization? Will your pulpits echo our cries or only repeat the songs of the powerful? Faith, too, must be decolonized. It must walk with the poor, not the privileged.
Well, we're having a really important event coming up on July 12th at the Midwest Convention Center in North Lake near the O'Hare Airport. We're going to have speakers talking about the Houthis and the Yemeni movement. We're going to have speakers talking about the Palestinians. We're going to have speakers talking about Africa and what's going on there. We're going to have speakers talking about the peaceful reunification of the Korean Peninsula. We're going to have music. We're going to have traditional dancers from the former Soviet Union. It's just going to be really amazing in so many ways.
Anti-imperialist speakers, cultural performers, dancers, music. It's going to be really special. 500 like-minded people.
If you can't make it, send us a donation to cover all the costs. It certainly costs a lot to rent out this big venue and get everyone there.
And to the youth of Africa, to the young boy selling oranges by the roadside, to the girl who walks 10 kilometers to attend school, to the child whose only toy is a stone but who dreams of stars. You are the reason we fight. Do not believe the lie that your continent is cursed. You are the blessing. Do not envy foreign passports. Be proud of your name, your land, your roots. The world may not applaud you now, but the future will speak your name in honor.
So we need to be paying attention to him. We need to be supporting him, and we need to be in unity around the principles that he's advocating for as a leader.
And he is standing up to AFRICOM, standing up to NATO, saying, U.S. out, we want to develop Africa for African people, not for the bankers on Wall Street who are not only keeping the people of Africa poor, but keeping people in this very city poor. Why are there so many homeless people in America? Why is our infrastructure falling apart?
It's time that we hired the China Railway Company to build high-speed trains throughout the Midwest, connect Chicago to Washington, D.C. and to Los Angeles with high-speed railway. That's what we're talking about. We're saying it's time that we start having an education system that makes our kids smarter. We have social media apps that train our young people to be more confident and more physically fit. We need a government that invests in people, not a derivative rip-off government that makes profit from prison and war and death and destruction. We need a government of action that will fight for working families. And in Burkina Faso, this impoverished African country, they have such a government right now. They've got a builder, a man who believes that human beings are the source of real wealth in the world. And he is investing in his people, and they are raising up the population, raising up the life expectancy, raising up the living standards, raising up education, raising up healthcare, raising up access to a decent life. That's the kind of government we need here. A government of action that fights for working families.
They're keeping you poor in this country as well. It's an absolute disgrace. We need leadership like Ibrahim Traoré. We need programs that will allow people to raise children. We need people to have jobs and education in schools. We don't need to be starting war after war, bombing people in the Middle East, bombing people in Africa, funding terrorists in the Horn of Africa, and then banning people from coming here. It's absolutely ridiculous.
But it's going to be like nothing you've ever seen. That auditorium is going to be packed. It holds 500. We think we can fill it. It's going to be a great event. So I hope you join us July 12th.
Long live
Ibrahim Traoré! Long live Ibrahim Traoré! Long live Ibrahim Traoré! Long live Ibrahim Traoré! It was actually really hectic trying to get the sign together.
Not taking orders from anybody.
As you can see, it's kind of jerry-rigged up. We kind of didn't have the right stuff. We had to go back and forth to Home Depot 3 or 4 times, but it took us 2 hours to set up the banner, but the reaction's been pretty nice, right?
They want you to believe there's too many people in the world. Bullshit. We need more people because human beings, human labor power is the source of all wealth. We need a government that invests in people, provides people with jobs, provides people with health care, provides people with education, and builds and constructs. Don't invest in bombs, don't invest in prisons, invest in people, human beings, and our creativity. We are the source, and we need a pro-people government. And that's what Ibrahim Traoré is on the African continent. And that's why he's teaming up with China to build power plants. And that's why he's enabled thousands of Africans to become farmers and have their own orchards and have their own fields. Behind him, we have got whole fields of wealth. That's what he's about.
I do not come to declare war, I come to declare will. So we will not kneel to fear. We will not kneel to foreign banks. We will not kneel to outdated empires masquerading as friends. Africa is not asking for a seat at your table. We are building our own, a table where no child eats last, where no nation is silenced because it lacks nuclear arms, where justice is not filtered through the lens of race or history, but shared as breath is shared. This is our vision and this is our vow. Let the world hear it today and always. Africa will not kneel.
We need a government like Ibrahim Traoré in America. That's what we need, a government of action that will fight for working families. So join us in Chicago, July 12th. Working families first, defeat the deep state for a new world of peace and innovation.
The most revolutionary thing to do, as Ibrahim Traoré is showing us, is to build. Not destroy, but build. We need to build our way out of this global crisis. We can't bomb our way out of it, right? They're trying, but the more they try, the more trouble they get their system into. They need to join the new system that is already being built. And that's the message of our conference.
Dare to struggle!
Dare to win!
Dare to struggle!
Dare to win!
Dare to struggle!
Dare to win!
What is happening on this April 30th, 2025 is making the imperialists tremble. Some will not sleep tonight. But their nightmare will last because we are standing, ready until final victory.
Unite! Africa! Unite! Africa! Unite! 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 Africa! Unite! Africa! Unite! Africa! Unite! Africa! Unite! Africa! Unite! Africa! Long live 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 Africa! Long Ibrahim! 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 Ibrahim!
Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off Uhuru! Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off Uhuru!
Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off Uhuru! Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off Uhuru! Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off Uhuru! Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off Uhuru! Stop the march towards World War III and a low-wage police state. Stop the march towards World War III and a low-wage police state.
They are the enemies of our freedom. Imperialism does not change its methods. Because you will remember that in 1987, on that dark day of October 15th, it was the methods of manipulation that led to the tragic fate of a dignified son of Burkina Faso. The imperialists manipulated in 1987. Captain Thomas Sankara was presented at that time as a bloodthirsty man. As a president who did not love his people, as a president who persecuted his people,
comme un président qui pille son peuple. Et ce sont les mêmes médias mensonges qui ont été
and it was the same lying media that were used, and we know the result.
Nous connaissons le résultat. Seulement l'impérialiste
Only the imperialist and the drawing room
et les
slaves forgot
esclaves de
one thing.
salon ont oublié une chose. 1987,
1987
ce n'est pas 2025.
is not 2025.
En 2025, nous
In
sommes
2025, we are standing.
debout. La jeunesse burkinabé est debout.
The Burkinabe youth are standing.
Le peuple patriote du Burkina Faso
The patriotic
est debout.
people of Burkina Faso are standing.
Les combattants de la liberté dans le monde sont debout.
The fighters for freedom in the world are standing.
Et nous allons faire corps
And we will unite to defend our leader,
pour défendre
Captain
notre
Ibrahim
leader,
Traoré.
le capitaine Ibrahim Traoré. Parce que nous avons cette chance
Because we have this chance, our generation, to have a young leader,
d'avoir un leader jeune, d'avoir un leader
to have a
courageux,
courageous leader,
audacieux,
bold,
visionnaire,
visionary,
qui est prêt à tous les sacrifices pour la
who is
liberté
ready
de son
for all
peuple.
sacrifices for the freedom of his people.
Camarades, plus que jamais, nous devons rester
Comrades,
debout.
more than ever, we must stand because
Parce que
Captain
le
Thomas
capitaine
Sankara
Thomas
said,
Sankara l'avait dit, quand le peuple se met
when the
debout,
people stand up,
les impérialistes
the
tremblent.
imperialists tremble.
Right. So Ibrahim Traoré is a leader of the Burkina Faso military. He is a devout Muslim, and he was the leader of the Muslim Student Association at his university. He's also a Marxist, and he was a member of the Marxist study group at the Burkina Faso University. He went into the military, and he led a section of the military to take control of the Burkina Faso government and expel the French and expel the United Nations and align Burkina Faso with Russia. And he's stated that his goal is to make Burkina Faso into a prosperous socialist country. He just made having babies free. All natal care at hospitals is now free. There will be no charges to any woman who goes into a hospital in Burkina Faso for having babies. And he's also overseeing an agricultural boom in Burkina Faso. They are starting to grow their own soybeans, and they're greatly expanding their food production capacity. Furthermore, he is at this point giving a paycheck to every college student, right? Every student who goes to college in Burkina Faso gets a stipend. They get basically an allowance from the government, spending money while they're in college. They don't have to have a job. They can focus on their education. He's very dramatically improving life in Burkina Faso and transitioning toward a pro-growth economy in Burkina Faso. And I think that's absolutely awesome. Burkina Faso is a very poor country in Africa, and they now have an anti-imperialist government that is trying to raise productive forces. Now, he continues to face assassination attempts. They have tried to assassinate him on a number of occasions. He has survived. And now we have a U.S. Army general who has come forward and said that Ibrahim Traoré is a threat to his people and has condemned him and attacked him. And the French government is saying all kinds of nasty things about him. That's because Burkina Faso used to be a French colony, and even after it got its independence, it was under their domination. But Burkina Faso is now an independent country. It's asserting its independence. And because of that, they hate him. I think he is absolutely awesome. He is one of the best leaders that Burkina Faso has. By the way, shout out to our friend Phil, who's traveling. I heard from Phil this afternoon. He landed safely in Dallas. He's
safe, and he's doing some business out in Texas. And so say a prayer for our friend Phil. He had safe travels. You're in our hearts, Phil, and thank you for watching, and thank you for being with us, even when you're on the road. We do appreciate it. And yeah, I really like Ibrahim Traoré. I think that he is really the future of Africa. I mean, this is a revolutionary leader, raising his people up out of poverty, using the military and the state to create a pro-growth government. I think that's quite admirable. There's a number of clips of him speaking that are very, very good. I want to see if I can quickly pull one up for you all, because he continues to make very, very amazing speeches. You know, talking about all the same stuff we talk about on here, about liberalism as an ideology, about Western imperialism, about development. And I mean, all the stuff we talk about on here is what he talks about. You listen to this, he wears a red beret and he wears his military uniform, but when he talks, he's talking about, he's talking about all the stuff that we talk about on these streams. So I think, yeah, here's a clip of him that we can show. Let me make sure it's in English. Okay, all right, yeah, we can show this clip. All right. So let me put a clip of the revolutionary leader of Burkina Faso on here, because I think he is tremendous. I really, really think very highly of Ibrahim Traoré. And so here is Ibrahim Traoré. These are recent comments that he made. This is just from Burkina Faso State TV. So yeah, we'll find the clip here. All right.
Our country has long been in a very complicated system. Most of you who are young like me, we were born into this system. But that's not what can allow Burkina to thrive. Because in this situation, there are only two cases. Either we accept to fight, or we remain slaves forever. I told you once, there are those who are slaves in their minds. They can only serve their master. And those people try every time to manipulate you. You must advise each other. Because every situation can be exploited by these enemies of the nation to try to discourage you, to demotivate you. So you must advise each other and not pay attention to certain remarks, even on some media. Not everyone is obliged to be patriotic. You are the first patriots. You have decided to defend the homeland. There is nothing better than that. Those who want to support you, let them support you. Those who want to discourage you through writings, you must close your ears and move forward. As for those, we will fight them here. So we must remember something. Recently, there is a so-called NGO. It's not even an NGO. Because NGO stands for non-governmental organization. They are not non-governmental because they are funded by a federal budget, by a state. This so-called NGO produces reports claiming that the FDS and the VDP commit abuses. It went in here, it came out there. It's to tarnish your morale. It's to scare you, to prevent you from being able to fight. No. Moreover, we are going to file a complaint against this NGO because people need to understand something. What is happening to us here? It's true that they have manipulated part of our populations in the Sahel here, but they didn't have that kind of weaponry. What brought such significant weaponry into their ranks? It's Libya. Who destroyed Libya? It's this NGO, the same NGO that made false reports and gave them to those who wanted to create a rebellion so that people would intervene and overthrow Gaddafi. And the powder keg ended up being poured into the Sahel. These millions of lives that have been taken in the Sahel, we must file a complaint against this NGO because it is responsible for these false reports it made to support this thesis of attacking Libya. They have no moral lessons to give us. Look at the world. Let them go defend human rights all over the world first before coming here. We are fortunate to have similar situations. In this world, you voluntarily committed yourselves. There are countries where people are forcibly taken, killed. You leave or you die. Others, even while trying to flee, end up dying. They don't talk about human rights because these people see us as subhumans. They see us as slaves. That's how it is in their minds. They have never changed their mindset, but it's up to us to show them that we are not slaves and we will never accept this state of affairs. So don't be fooled by the stories. They tell to anyone who will listen. You must stay focused on your fight. Stay focused. We know what we are doing. And even now, the VTP commander told me that there is a human rights training session underway for group leaders and their deputies. If we make efforts, we know it's for ourselves. We no longer do things to please someone else. We do it for our homeland. And you are committed to that. Defend your homeland. Do not listen to those individuals. They should not affect your morale. In the history of the world, there have been wars. And during the Second World War, people organized themselves to defend all over the place. But there is a country that could not defend itself, which had to come and take our ancestors to go defend them. And today that same country wants to give us lessons. The pot calling the kettle black. No. You are the descendants of those same ancestors who went to defend others, who liberated the world from Nazism. Today you are fighting for your lands. These same individuals dare to create terms to tarnish you. We oppose this. We will never agree. Continue to defend your lands. It is your wealth that interests these people. It's our gold, it's our minerals that interest them. Otherwise, why come and drive out entire villages to seize our lands? So we will fight and we will reclaim our lands, our wealth. It belongs to us. It's for us. It will benefit us and our children. I therefore encourage you to remember that this war is to free us from slavery. It's for our independence. And you must keep your spirits high, stay strong. Never give in to manipulators, to those individuals who no longer understand the notion of homeland, or to those people who come from outside to try to subdue us through their terms they invented and their organizations they created to enslave us. Fight, move forward, do everything you can. Draw, as I said, from your cultural resources, from what you have been shaped by since the village. Draw from it and wage this war. Stay focused and stay strong.
Yeah, that is the leader of Burkina Faso. I mean, he looks like another Fidel Castro. He looks like another Kim Il-sung. He looks like another Gaddafi. This is a great anti-imperialist leader. Right now, we are living history right now, watching Burkina Faso under the leadership of a revolutionary anti-imperialist who's ready to fight for his people and raise them out of poverty and provide jobs and schools and education, increase the population, increase living standards, increase the life expectancy. This is a pro-growth government that we have in Burkina Faso, and I like it. I like it.
in Rockford, Illinois, and we're here to say that Ibrahim Traoré is right and AFRICOM is wrong.
Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off Traoré! Hands off Africa! Hands off Traoré!
Today we're speaking about Ibrahim Traoré, all the good things he has done. He is actually a leader that's provided true inspiration, not just for his people of Burkina Faso, but for everyone around the world.
Are in the belly of what is happening around the world. We get up, we go to work, we go home, we get online. We pretend like we don't know, but we do know. We feel the crushing imperialist boot on our necks, and can we get it off? Yes, we can!
Yes, we can!
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah!
We can!
Yes, we can!
Don't let them stop you.
Ibrahim Traoré is the captain, president, Ibrahim Traoré, the traditional president of Burkina Faso.
I think he's a remarkable leader for the whole world. Whenever I see him, I'm really compelled by him.
Taking hands off of Ibrahim Traoré, and we're representing the Center for Political Innovation because we want economic development. We don't want degrowth.
People are liking it, huh?
Yeah, a lot of people are receptive or at least curious.
And I think if we take an example like this, and stand up for countries like this and learn from it, we too have a better prosperity, not just for ourselves now, but for generations to come.
So unique and so different from the various other leaders of the world. He's amazing to me.
Down with NATO!
Down with NATO!
Hands off Africa!
Hands off Africa!
Down with NATO!
Down with NATO!
Hands off Africa!
Hands off Africa! We are an energized group fighting for working families. We are an energized group fighting for the world. We want this message to get out to everyone, far and wide, to get off your butts, to make it happen. We are one because we are in this fight together.
We've got Africa's Flame, Ibrahim Traoré, the current president of Burkina Faso, who's doing beautiful, amazing things, building up the country for his people.
They kicked out the French. They formed an alliance with Mali and Niger. Security defense, economic defense. Traoré is leading an agricultural revolution. They are training soldiers to be farmers. They're training farmers to be soldiers. And he's a Muslim. And it is now a crime in Burkina Faso to stir up religious division that undermines the unity of the country.
So we're supporting a real role model here.
Let me tell you a little bit about this man, Ibrahim Traoré. This man is not only a leader for Burkina Faso who cares about the people of Africa and the people of the world, who's standing with Russia, who's standing with the people of the world against U.S. imperialism. And it's because that he's doing that they've made so many attempts on his life.
I would be willing to put my life on the line for him, to protect him, because he's, he represents hope. He represents true hope and progress in this world, and I pray to God that nothing happens to him.
And my question is this: where does value come from? Where does value come from? They want you to think value comes down from the sky. They want you to think value comes from Wall Street derivative ripoff schemes. They want you to think value comes from Facebook likes and shares and hits. They want you to think value is magical. But the answer to where value comes from is within you. It is within you. It is your human labor power and your creativity. That is the source of all wealth in this world.
Yes.
And if we want to have a strong economy, we need to invest in human beings. Invest in people. Invest in children so they grow up and get an education and become strong and powerful and effective and smart. We need to invest in communities. We need to invest in families. That is the future.
Freedom. I think of economic growth. I think of someone who truly cares about the needs of the people and not the top 1% or the top 0.01% or whatever it is, which is the rest of the world seems to be focused on in the West anyway. We need economic development for everyone, not just for the people at the top. And that's the kind of system we're living under, why people are struggling so much.
We are here to proclaim that we will not be stopped. We will not let the imperialists threaten us. We will not let them intimidate us. We are CPI, and we are here to fight for Africa.
Like you guys in the US, ourselves in Australia, we're being held back by big finance, and we need to have a government of action that fights for working families and ordinary working people.
Investing millions and millions of francs to revamp stadiums and hold games for youth sports so they can be healthy and strong and they can build an identity of their own in working together. Ibrahim Traoré was a soccer player himself, and he just held a very friendly game with other professional soccer players, and he won 3 matches. How about that? Go Traoré!
Go Traoré! Let all nations have self-determination and develop peaceful relationships, peaceful trade with each other, and innovate and share that innovation with each other so that we can live in peace, prosperity, and harmony, because there is plenty to go around.
This is the model of what can be here. You must fight. You must get up. You must be brave. Don't let them tell you that your words have no meaning, that they'll throw you in jail if you speak up. The more of us that speak up, what happens? Then more speak up, and more speak up. Don't let that frighten you. Get off your butts, do something about it. Fight for a future that you want.
We need a world where people refuse to take advantage of the downtrodden.
We need to take an alternative road, because the road we're going is leading us to nowhere but to oblivion.
And this leader in Africa is a leader who understands that. And that is why he is investing in his people. He is providing free health care to mothers in the hospital. He is providing university education to his people. Not only is college free, but while you're there, you get a stipend, a paycheck, so you can focus on your studies. You don't have to work. Imagine that. The young people of Burkina Faso, in a way, are richer than all the young people in America. You go to college in America, you're going to be in student debt for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, 20 years. In Burkina Faso, not only do you not go into student debt, but on top of that, you get a paycheck while you're there so you can pay your bills and focus on your studies. He is enabling millions and millions of people to rise up from poverty, to launch their own farms, to pave their roads. Fisheries are opening up. Pineapple orchards are opening up. This is a pro-growth president who invests in human beings and invests in his people.
There's nothing more important right now happening in the world than what's happening right here in the belly of the beast, in the belly of imperialism. Can we make this happen? Yes. Yes, it can happen.
What we need is a win-win situation where we can find an economic system where deals or contracts whereby what makes America prosper also makes our trading prosper.
Better world is possible, but understand, if we don't believe that, if we listen to those who tell us that nothing is possible, then that's what we will get. We will get nothing.
Hands off Africa! Hands off Africa! Hands off Africa!
What can I say about imperialism other than the fact that it is a crushing force that is now taking its way from the tentacles of the United States and around the world, sucking the resources from other countries, impoverishing them, degrowing them, crushing them, making sure that they can't become everything that they have dreamt of being.
Organizations such as the Center for Political Innovation is critical to spreading the awareness, the knowledge of leaders such as Ibrahim Traoré.
And right now, we don't have a government that invests in people. We have a government that invests in destroying people. A government that invests in bombs and tanks and weapons and prisons for profit. A government that defends drug cartels. A government that arms terrorist groups. And that is not the way forward. There's a small group of very, very rich people who sit at the top of the world. And they've decided that the only way they can keep their throne and keep themselves at the top is to stop human progress. And they're wrong, because there is no limit to growth. There is no limit to growth. Human creativity and brilliance is unlimited. And we can build and we can construct.
We got books! We got books!
I saw 2 cars pull up at the stop sign, and then they had their lights, they were flashing to get our attention. And then I saw a fist come out, and then I was like, oh yes, there's somebody who absolutely understands what we're doing. And then I saw a woman come out, and she started honking her horn. And then I didn't know there was a car behind her, and then we just started cheering. They were just honking. I heard them say thank you, because now they know what we're about, what we were doing, what we're standing for, why we're out here on this road, getting the attention of those who pass by. So they all honked. The car behind them came out and they honked as well. And they seemed extremely supportive, very happy that we're out here bringing awareness, you know, in a place where, likely of all places, which you see a big giant sign, a big, you know, poster of Ibrahim Traoré. But here we are, CPI, bringing awareness, making it happen, and understanding that people, the more we do this, it'll catch fire. And it seems as though it already has.
I think, yeah, there's been a number of people that have positive reactions to our rally, to the banner, to our chants, to our speeches.
We will march together, we will fight together, no matter who you are, no matter what political persuasion, no matter what race, because we are all here fighting a class struggle that is more than the sum of its parts. We are one.
But I think if we're getting positive reactions like that out here, that's a very good sign. And it's a sign of progress, and it's a sign that people are starting to wake up.
Ibrahim Traoré is working with Russia Bad! Russia Bad! Oh my God, Russia Bad! No, Ibrahim Traoré went to the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II in Russia, and he got to see their equipment, and he got to see their spirit of unity and their spirit of cooperation, and how they were able to defeat fascism, which we've never forgiven them for. So, also Ibrahim Traoré is investing in education for his students to go to Russia. And Russia has students coming to Burkina Faso so they can learn each other's culture and they can build peaceful nuclear energy.
Yay!
Peaceful nuclear energy.
Peaceful nuclear energy.